Hello friends, Cartoon Countries here. So I have been rewatching TNB episodes 1, 2, and 3. I've also read the description and gathered some info to share. While watching these episodes, I've discovered some Easter eggs that some people didn't notice. But first, let's start with a short that Ian made a few months prior. This is actually part of the Nightmare's beginning lore. So let's dissect this frame by frame. Here we can see UK Mapper entering a forest that takes place somewhere in Siberia, Russia, which is the location where this series takes place. You can tell because it's snowing, but we have never seen snow in the actual series. So maybe this takes place somewhere in the future. We also see a light coming from a forest, although this might have been from UK Mapper's phone since is shown having one in episode 2. But this light is orange while in the one on UK Mapper's phone is white. So what's going on here? Maybe he's using a lantern, possibly for the mood. Or maybe he's not actually using a lantern, but standing in front of a campfire, since campfires also emits an orange glow. But there's one thing I want to ask. What the hell is UK Mapper doing in a snowy forest? Is it to hide? Or maybe he's searching for another one of Zyrutha's fragments, since he basically got taken over in episode 3, part 1. Okay, in the next scene of this short, we see Frau opening a door to, well, somewhere. It looks like a tools room, but it could be the garage since we saw the garage in the first episode. The background here, by the way, is the same background that Ian used for FNF vs GeoTubers mod. You can tell from the color of the sky and the lamp here. But this building seems to not be the garage, but rather somewhere else, since we've never gotten a good view inside the garage. So either I'm wrong or right. Anyways, let's continue. After that scene, we are shown this picture. This picture has FSE, Frau, Ian, Zayden, and UK Mapper as a tear falls on a picture. But there's one thing bothering me. Ian looks a bit transparent. What's going on here? Well, I don't know what the hell is happening to Ian, so we'll have to wait for an explanation. I have a feeling that this tear that falls onto the picture was Zayden's tear since she can be seen crying here. At the top we can see a keyboard of a laptop, and at the bottom we can see a pen, a piece of paper, a phone, and something else that I don't know the name of. I don't think this is correlated with anything here, but I just thought I'll list them out just in case. Then we jump to the next scene, and it's another FNF vs GeoTubers reference. Here's the background, and here's Ian. Anyways, the next scene shows us a city. And you're not going to believe this, but this is the same city that was used in the thumbnail of the first episode of The Nightmare's beginning. The building in the middle is the exact same one in the short. Ian is throwing references at us, huh? And at the last scene, we can see the pictures from before, but however the footage is corrupted and all of their eyes are blacked out, except for Ian's. He's the only one in this picture whose eyes are not crossed out. Maybe this is hinting at what will happen in the future. Maybe the ones whose eyes are closed may symbolize that they died since they often do that with dead people, and Ian is the only one who survived. Okay, so we've gotten that out of the way. Now, it's time to get to the details I've noticed. In episode 1, just as UK Mapper closes the door of his locker, we can see a poster at the right. I don't know what it says, but it says something like Siri 0062 Entertainment. Yeah, I couldn't make out what it says since I couldn't get a close look, but you can write your suggestions in the comments. And another thing I've noticed in this episode is the thumbnail. If we zoom in at Ian, we can see that his eye looks glowing purple. That implies two things. Either it's just the visual effect or this confirms that Ian EXE is returning. If you didn't know, back when Ian had his old channel, he sometimes animated his OC's evil form. And this is probably hinting his return. But while watching the other episodes, I couldn't find any secrets that I've not already mentioned, but UK Mapper himself left a comment, basically saying that some of my speculations were correct, but he also stated that Frau is not trying to summon Zyruth, but locking the fragments in some type of locker to prevent any incidents of happening. Another thing I've gotten wrong was this scene when UK Mapper absorbed the fragment. I said that he didn't hesitate, but UK Mapper corrected me, saying it's just for self-defense. Okay, I've got some explaining to do. You see, my brain kinda turned off while making the video, so I KNDA just said whatever, so apology for that. While I was writing this script, I got a Discord notification and saw this image. This image is supposedly a leak for the second part episode 3. It contains Zayden, Frau, FSE, and UK Mapper, but here we can see what's behind UK Mapper's eye patch, and we can see a scar on his right eye. What this scar is supposed to mean I have no idea. You can find this image in the UK Mapper Discord server in the Nightmares Beginning section if you want to see it. I thought about the image for a moment, and I have some potential theories about this. I think that in part 2 of episode 3, Xaden and Frau will show up to the location of FSE and UK Mapper, and will try to restrain him from hurting FSE more. Or maybe it's something else, I don't know, but here we can see Frau looking shocked while staring at his glowing hand. It appears to be an energy orb since it resembles one. Maybe Frau just unlocked a new ability, and that's probably why he looks shocked. Just a theory, of course. Let's go to FSE. At FSE's side, we can see that his sword is radiating some type of energy on it. Maybe his sword has its own abilities that we didn't know about. Okay, now down to Xaden. In her part, we can see a bit of smoke in her box. And is it just me, or does she look like she's smiling? Well, I mean they don't have mouths, but she just looks so sinister here. I've strangely got a bad feeling towards her, honestly. And that's basically everything I've got for today. If I left out anything or just said something wrong, just leave it in the comments. I read every comment on my videos, and that's it. Goodbye and good night.